Life in the Babylonian Empire, Section 4. Babylonia thrived under Hammurabi. He worked to unite the people of his empire. The roads he built and the postal service he created helped connect Babylonians of all social statuses. Agriculture and trade flourished. Hammurabi was careful to properly maintain irrigation systems so that the land remained fertile and provided enough food. Because the city of Babylon was on the banks of the Euphrates River, it became an important center of trade. Babylonians traded grain and woven cloth for wood, gold, silver, precious gems, and livestock, animals, with people throughout the Persian Gulf. Trade helped the empire's economy. Many types of artisans used materials brought from distant lands like Egypt. The arts also flourished. Writers wrote historical poems, some of which survive today. Most significantly, Babylonian society was unusually fair for its time. The laws treated the various classes differently, but even slaves had some rights. Slaves could work elsewhere and keep their wages, own property, and even buy their freedom if they saved enough money. Babylonian women also had more rights than in most other ancient societies. Even though their fathers chose their husbands, women could own property and keep money of their own. Hammurabi was proud of his achievements, once writing, "I rooted out the enemy above and below. I made an end of war. I promoted the welfare of the land. I have governed them, the people, in peace. I have sheltered them in my strength." Section 5, the Assyrian Empire. The line of royalty Hammurabi initiated did not continue to rule Babylonia for long. Over the next several hundred years, a number of groups governed sections of what had previously been the Babylonian Empire. However, a warlike people called the Assyrians created the next great empire in Mesopotamia. Assyria lay to the north of Babylon. The Assyrians have lived in Mesopotamia for a long time, briefly establishing their own empire before Hammurabi conquered them. They rose to power again toward 900 BCE, when a series of Assyrian rulers began training an army for war in hopes of expanding their territory. The Assyrians were feared for the military might and their cruelty. Their greatest achievements were their new weapons and war strategies. They perfected the use of horses and iron weapons in battle. They also became greatly skilled at siege warfare, a strategy in which army soldiers camp outside a city and repeatedly attack it until the city falls. The Assyrians developed new ways of attacking cities. For instance, they developed new types of battering rams. These long, heavy-wheeled beams were used for breaking down walls. The Assyrians also built movable towers that were rolled up to a city's walls so the soldiers could climb over the walls. The Assyrians were often ruthless. They might force entire populations to leave areas they had recently conquered. The Assyrians spread tales of their cruelty far and wide, and creating fear among their enemies became part of the Assyrian military strategy. And here's a map of the Assyrian Empire. So all of the yellow, so here.
Sorry, I missed that.
Here they went into Egypt. Section 6, Life under Assyrian Rule. Powerful kings ruled the Assyrian Empire. Religion, however, remained extremely crucial to social and political order. Even kings were obliged to obey the gods. The Assyrians believed that their kings were special beings, so they built beautiful, elaborate places to honor their rulers. The great palace in the capital city of Nineveh had many rooms. Some palaces were built on tall mounds to raise them above the surrounding buildings. Huge sculptures of winged bulls or lions with human faces stood at the entrances. Like other societies in Mesopotamia, the Assyrians dug canals to irrigate their land and keep it fertile for farming. They also delivered some of the first aqueducts, which are pipes or channels used to carry water. A system of canals and aqueducts brought drinking water to Nineveh from 30 miles away. Assyrian artisans were known for their two-dimensional sculptures, called bas-reliefs. Many of their most bas-reliefs were on palace walls. Amazingly realistic, they often depicted scenes of the king hunting, fighting in battle, or enjoying family life. The Assyrians used ivory to decorate thrones, beds, and chairs. The Assyrian Empire lasted about 300 years. At its height, it stretched from Egypt to the Persian Gulf, but its weakness lay in being too vast a territory to control. which means it was too big. The army was stretched thin, and the Syrians could not fight off opposing neighbors. In 612 BCE, a combined army of Babylonians, Scythians, and a group called the Medes attacked Nineveh, permanently breaking the Assyrians' reign over the land. And here's a picture. This is one of the bas reliefs that they were talking about.